good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be answering all your fantasy football questions for week 2. Starts and sits, trade value, whatever you need. Make sure you sign up as a member. That way I can rate your team. Also, I can read out these long questions that you may have about, hey, TD, what do you think about this team that I drafted? If you're not a member, I'm not going to do those questions, but I will do, if you super chat, I will. Or, you just basically got to be a member to get these long questions answered. Also, guys, you want to become a member because you get perks. You get percentage off on consultations. Also, you can be part of get the link to the draft guide and be able to watch my weekly rankings, me moving the guys around. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. I see you, Zach, in the house. Zach in the house. Watch your mouth. What's up, bro? I see you. Okay, let's see. So Zach says start Baker Mayfield or Justin Fields. I'm starting Baker. Patty cake, Baker's man. Roll around, throw him in a pan. Yeah, I'm starting patty cake, Baker's man. I'm starting Baker. Zach says trying to trade JSN for Brian Thomas Jr. in the league. Yes, I think that's a good trade. I do think JSN targets will pick up. He's just not going to be a first quadrant players. It's going to be guys that we're all going to drop. Me, myself, we're going to drop guys that's going to break out later in a different quadrant. So I just want people to be aware of that. I see you, Ali Baba. Zach says James Cook, 3 touchdowns, got Cook in my dynasty leagues. Yes, sir. I said they was gonna run the ball more. You see, Josh Allen ain't had these incredible numbers outside of his rushing ability. We know his rushing ability to be there. Now I thought he was gonna rush less, but he did last night. Now, was that because James Cook was having big gains? Yes, it probably was. But I think this team is going to run through the run game, and then they'll play action off of that, and then whoever's open that is going to be open. It could be Curtis Samuel. It could be Curtis Samuel. It could be Keon Coleman. It could be any of those guys. I don't think it's a number 1 wide receiver on that team. I think the guys that I like targeting and having on this team, I like Dalton Kincaid as a tight end. Tight ends are very volatile, so don't worry about him not scoring high-end points. We hope that he would be better, but it's okay. So yes, we just play Josh Allen and James Cook. You start those guys. The rest of the guys are going to be volatile, so you got to make your own prerogative picks. Zach says, is Nico Collins playing this week? Nico is listed as questionable. Okay, so I'm going to read through some of the news before I get to a lot of y'all comments, but this is a Q&A, so long as the Q&As are coming from the members, I'm going to keep answering questions, but I do want to go over a couple of injuries. So maybe I'll find a nice little stopping spot for that, Zach. He says, I got Ford on my bench, but can't start him right because I have Breach Hall and Pacheco and Nico Cup and Rice for wide receivers, right? So this Nico questionable, I got Ford on the bench. Yeah, that's fine. Ford, he got to be on your bench. But listen, I think if you're going to keep him on your bench, you need to try to trade him now because once Nick Chubb come back, he's not going to be any type of player or any type of value that anybody really wants at that point in time. Right now, his value is at its highest. That's all I mean. I'm not trying to tell you to sit, Breach Hall or Pacheco for him, but you basically got somebody on your bench, like you got a car that's value is going down at each day. So what are you going to do? You're going to trade the car in or you're going to keep the car and just let it depreciate? I think Jerome Ford is depreciating closer till we get back to Nick Chubb coming back. So you got to be careful with that. Alibaba says start Worthy or Ladd, Brian Thomas Jr. or Cooks, PPR. I would go with Brian Thomas Jr. for upside. All those guys are nice stars. I think Worthy is just a guy that you start. You don't worry about his targets ratio. He just so boom. He could boom at any point. He could have 1 catch and then have 16 points. So you kind of have to just play him. Ladd, he is a target guy. He did look good in the slot. He did look like he is one of Justin Herbert's favorite targets. So he's a good guy, but he don't have the ceiling that Worthy and Brian Thomas Jr. has. Cooks, I'm not playing Cooks. Cooks is fine, but he doesn't have the upside of these other guys. So to me, man, I'm gonna go with Brian Thomas Jr. because I think he's a big part of the Jaguars offense. Guys, make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Subscribe to the channel. Let's see here. All right, at this point, I'm gonna read off a little bit of news. Let me see here. All right, so Jaden Reed, guys. Jaden Reed has a calf shin problem. He's questionable for Sunday's game against the Colts. This follows Reed showing up in Packers week 2 and having a boom game. His status will be confirmed one way or another about 90 minutes before Sunday's game. So you're going to have to be watching. You're going to have to wait up until like 12:30, 12:15 to find out if Jaden Reed is going to play. And those are the tough ones. Green Bay has not ruled out Jordan Love, which we know he's ruled out, but he's not going to play. But they've not really literally ruled him out yet. So I'm not really playing anybody from the Packers outside of Josh Jacobs if I have him. I do have Christian Watson in a couple leagues, and I do want to play him because I believe he can go for a boom play, and I don't want to miss his boom play. But I'm not telling you to start Christian Watson. I'm just saying that I'm going to do it in a couple leagues that I have him in. Let's see. Jameson Williams just had a big week, and he's questionable. Now, that's just questionable doesn't mean anything, but it's the ankle injury. So he's going to be questionable, so it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have to wait up until about 12:15 to find out if he's going to play against Tampa Bay. Let's see here. All right, let me see what else they're saying about him or anybody else. Christian McCaffrey, not spotted at Friday's practice. So if you have Christian McCaffrey, you already know. If you have Christian McCaffrey, you already know. All messages. Okay. So it is what it is. There's no victory lap in none of that because I didn't take any Christian McCaffrey, but hey, it's fantasy. I also want to talk a little bit about the Tyreek Hill situation. I had a couple people hit me up, guys. I knew Tua was very volatile, so I'm still going to play Tyreek. I'm going to start him every week, no matter who the quarterback is, because he can boom with a bad quarterback. And Tyreek actually has been pretty good with bad quarterbacks. He played good with Chad Henne when he was in Kansas City. He played okay a couple years ago with Skylar Thompson in a playoff game. He had like 60 or 70 yards. So I'm going to play him. I'm going to play Jalen Watt. I'm going to continue to play Devon Achane. I'm going to let the coaches figure it out. These guys are too much of high draft capital for me just to bench them. Now, would I trade him? Yes, I could trade him, but I'm going to get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Do I want Justin Jefferson? Do I want Jamar Chase? Do I want Garrett Wilson? I don't know if I really want to trade Tyreek for any of those guys outside of Amon-Ra. Tua, coach wouldn't touch recovery timeline. I'm saying 4 weeks, maybe 7 weeks. So don't be worried about Tua. If you got Tua, go ahead and find you a quarterback and move on. That's how fantasy. You can't dwell on the past. People going to get hurt. People going to always go down. That's why you have backups, and that's why you have good players and running backs and wide receivers. Try to get the best players because people are going to go down. Don't stay stuck on that. Let's see. Josh Jacobs will play. I think he was questionable. They got Jordan Love questionable 15 minutes ago. That's to me, I don't know why they doing that. They know they're not going to play that guy. Let's see. I just want to talk about the offensive players. Joshua Palmer did not play. Joshua Palmer did not play. Did not practice Friday. I thought he would. Let me see what's going on. It says the Palmer knee did not practice Friday and is listed as questionable for the Sunday's game against the Panthers. So they look like Ladd is going to be getting some work if Palmer don't play. I'm still playing Brian Thomas Jr. in that question that I answered earlier over Ladd. But Ladd is still a good start. Let's see anything else. Joshua Downs is still questionable despite a full practice. So maybe Alec Pierce and Adonai Mitchell value could take a hit a little bit with Josh Downs looking like he want to come back. Hollywood Brown went to IR. He's officially on IR. So that's 4 weeks from now before he can even be eligible to play.
Let me see if
If
there's
there's anything else, guys, that
we need to talk about. Malik Neighbors is clear.
cleared to play, so don't worry about that injury. Malik Neighbors will be cleared to play for week 2.
Let's
Let's see.
Rome on
Dunze is deemed questionable after practice. Roman Dunze is deemed questionable after practice. Let me see. Jordan Addison will not play this week. Keenan Allen, no practice. So you got to pay attention to the Bears. If you got the Bears, you got Caleb Williams, you got some of these wide receivers, you're going to have to pay close attention up into Sunday morning.
they say
I said jerk. Jake Ferguson could play, but to me, talk about he missing practice, but he could play. You might need to pivot to another tight end. Don't drop him, but pivot to another tight end. Let me see. I think that's it, guys. I think that's the main stuff. The main stuff that we need.
so Nico
Collins did practice Friday. So today he practiced. So Nico looked like Nico Collins will be playing. Let's
see here. T. Higgins is doubtful
for week 2. Wow, that's bad. If you hopefully you won if you got T. Higgins, because holding on to T. Higgins, waiting for him to come back and be healthy, that could hurt you. So T. Higgins is doubtful. He won't play probably week 2 this week.
Drake May
is getting a little bit of reps. They're not saying they're gonna bench Jacoby Brissett, but he's getting some reps and practice with the first team.
Let's see.
Yeah, it don't look like Christian McCaffrey is gonna play. And Mike McDaniels has said that Skylar Thompson will have a chance to start next week. So he's believing in Skylar Thompson. Now, after next week, he might go for another quarterback. But right now, it looks like Skylar Thompson will be playing for week 3. So if I was Tua owner, I might pick up Skylar and somebody else just to see what's going to happen. Devon A-Chain is balling out, by the way. But let y'all know, Devon A-Chain looked like he could be the RB1.
Okay, guys, I think
that's about it. All right, let's get into some of these questions. Let's finish answer these questions. All right. Zach says, I added Isaiah Likely from waivers in the Yahoo league. That's money. I don't know how he's on the waivers. I see you, TZ. What's up, TZ? Good afternoon, bruh. TB says, worried about Gus the Bus. Now, bro, this is what Gus is. That's why he was drafted so late. He got a bag. He's going to get goal line touches, so that's about 10 to 15 touches a game. And if he's balling and he's playing good, he could get more. J.K. Dobbins looks like the guy, but he's not. They're not going to let J.K. Dobbins get 100%, 90%, 80%. The best he can get is 70% of the carries. Kind of like A-Chain. A-Chain don't get 100% of the carries, but he do play the passing game, which helps his numbers, and he do get about 70% of the touches. So with Raheem Mostert down. So I believe that Gus is going to have a goal line roll. So hold on to him and just wait and see. Don't be counting on him to do anything. Just have him on your bench. And if he start playing well, or he looks like he's getting into a groove, then you can make that decision. Other than that, he's not a guy that you should be, oh my God, Gus, man, you let me down. Gus, I'm going to drop you. That's not what Gus is. Gus is a stash. Gus is a stash. TB, appreciate you being here, bruh. What's up, Robbie? Eric B says, is Jordan winning team worth stashing? I have Robinson and Cup. Yes, because we don't know who's going to get the Puka role, and Puka could be out 5 to 6 weeks. Yes, he did go on IR, but they might hold him out even longer. So, just be careful. Just pick up Whittington and see what's going to happen. If it's going to be the Johnson kid, is it just going to be straight Cooper Cup? We don't know. So that's why you have to stash and let the decision happen. Don't try to say, oh, well, I'm going to take my shot on Whittington, and I'm going to start Whittington. If you got to start him, which you probably don't, then you start. Other than that, man, just sit back and just watch and see what's going to happen. It's still early. TG says Hollywood going on IR. Yes, Hollywood is going to IR, and that's okay. That's okay. We all know it. We know that from when he got hurt. Dustin Poole, what's up, Dustin? Dustin says start Burrow or Stafford. I'm starting Stafford. I know he don't have the weapons that I usually want. I would want to start Stafford because he got Cooper Kupp and Puka. And I thought Stafford had a chance to be an MVP candidate with Puka and Cooper. But he don't have both of them. So maybe he don't have an MVP type season early. But I'm still starting him over Burrow, and I don't know what's going on. Then once Burrow played, that's okay. And listen, guys, off 1 week just to see what's going to happen. Don't be, oh, Burrow didn't do it. You told me to start Stafford, or I started Stafford and then Burrow didn't do it. That's relax. Don't try to be some type of super computer where you gonna guess everybody right and then you holding me accountable to be on. I'm not God. I don't know what's wrong with Joe Burrow's wrist. I don't know what's wrong with his wrist. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hold on to Joe Burrow. I'm never gonna drop him. And when he get going, I'm gonna play him. And if I'm 0-2 to figure out if I should play Joe Burrow when I have a guy like Matthew Stafford, I'm okay with that. But I'm not just gonna play Joe Burrow just because, well, they said he was gonna be great and he got Jamar Chase. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be safe a little bit and play Matthew Stafford if I can. Now listen, if you got Burrow and you don't really got a good backup, then go ahead and play Burrow, and that's okay. It's 9 ways to skin a cat, guys. Just be consistent and stay true to what you're doing. Don't be flip-floppy. That's all it's about for fantasy. I'm not going to sit there and say nobody's making a wrong decision unless you start flip-flopping and panicking off of every single week when a player don't play right. You shouldn't be doing it. You should be just, you see, all this is going on. I don't care. I'm staying true. I don't care nothing about that. Tyreek Tua went down. I don't care nothing about that. I'm still playing Tyreek. Oh, Skylar Thompson, he boomed in week 8. Oh, I didn't know, but I stashed him, so I end up hitting on that. Right? That's how you got to play fantasy in my point of view. Zach says, yeah, I have Kincaid in a lot of leagues. Hopefully he starts getting more points, right? And he at the tight end position, so you just can put him on auto and let him play. Put him on auto and let him, as long as he's starting and he's healthy, put him on auto. Now listen, if you go pick up an Isaiah Likely or you got Isaiah Likely and you want to sit Dalton Kincaid and play Likely, that's fine. Me, what I probably would do if I don't got a great flex play, I might just play Kincaid anyway at the tight end and put Likely in the flex. Likely can play the flex. Likely is a hybrid. He actually is kind of like a wide receiver. He might be the #1 wide receiver for this team. Even though I think Zay will lead this team in targets, he could be like a top 24 wide receiver as far as Likely, the way he plays in this system. Let me see. Razi, appreciate you being here, bro. Hit the like button, guys. Razi says, would you rather have Drake London or Cooper Kupp rest of the season? Cooper Kupp, that's easy, Razi. Hopefully I'm not killing your name. Listen, guys, I don't got none. Only player that I got off the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm not taking no victory lap, is B. John Robinson. And now, listen, I'm not going to sit here act like I don't know everything. I don't act like I know everything. A lot of people are like, he think he know everything, and he's screaming at us, and he should be riding the short bus, and he talks funny, and I can't understand what he's saying. But anyway, I didn't take any of the Atlanta Falcons because I told you about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. He got an Achilles injury. I'm not taking nobody off of Achilles injury. J.K. Dobbins, congratulations. I still wouldn't draft him. Same thing I said about CMC for 2 years. I'm not drafting a guy that I done made my mind up when I seen he's getting too much of a workload. Same thing with a quarterback with Achilles injury. I'm not drafting that guy just because I like Drake London and I like Kyle Pitts. And please God, let them break out. I'm not doing that. So I just need to see it first. So I didn't touch no Kirk Cousins. I didn't touch no Drake London. I didn't touch Kyle Pitts. And I love Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts been one of the guys that I've missed on several years here. Keep talking about that. He's good. He's a good player. But I didn't, when they got Kirk Cousins, I couldn't say, oh, Kirk gonna make them be top 5 now. I couldn't say that. So to me, guys, if you have Drake London, you just gonna have to be patient. It is what it is. That's what you drafted.
Camden.
What's up, Camden? Camden Christensen says, got Richardson, Gibbs, JK, Ramondre, Chase, okay. Waddle, Pacheco, and Ladd, a good offer to send. Wait a minute. And Waddle for Pacheco and Ladd, a good offer to send. Okay. So, guys, hopefully y'all can come a member. I can do these type of questions, but usually this is not too long, but I don't like reading out a bunch of players and making a decision when you're not a member, because it just takes up a lot of time in the chat. So I'm gonna do this one, but guys, if you want your questions answered at all times, no matter what type of question it is, make sure you become a member of the channel. And I got 4 different tiers. All tiers are affordable. But he says, got Richardson, Gibbs, JK, Ramondre, Chase, Nico, Waddle, DK. Is JK and Waddle for Pacheco and Ladd a good offer to send? No, I'm not sending. Okay. If you like Pacheco and you high on Pacheco, it is a good offer to send. I think with Tua injury, I'm okay switching out Ladd and Waddle with Justin Herbert being healthy. I think Ladd and Waddle could be kind of closer than what we think. So I'm okay with that. But you got to be okay. Is JK and Waddle for Pacheco? So you want Pacheco and Ladd. You got to be okay with Pacheco. If you high on Pacheco, I say make the deal. But remember, my opinion, I don't like Pacheco's ceiling. If he didn't get the touchdown, they not like every time they get down to the green zone, they not trying to give him the ball, and I don't like that. I think Pacheco is one of the best playoff running backs in the last 3 years of everybody. I think he's been like averaging like 100 yards in the playoffs. But when they in the regular season, they don't really use him like that. And I don't want a player that they're not even using on the goal line and he's a running back. That's why I'm turned off from Pacheco. But if you high on Pacheco, I say it's a solid move. Juan Marino, what's up, bruh? He says, God bless. Keep up the good work. Thank you, bruh. Appreciate you. TZ says, Kyler Murray or Jaden Daniels. I'm still going to go with, bro, you're going to have to make a trade. TZ, y'all already know how I am. That's too tough of a decision every week, bro. Because every week you're going to have to sit there and make that decision unless Kyler Murray falls off or unless Jaden Daniels falls off and completely falls off. I think you need to trade one of those guys and bring in somebody who just the backup. Because you need 2 quarterbacks. But bringing somebody that's kind of like not going to push the other one like that. Bro, nobody on this whole channel right now, we got 60 people out here. Nobody knows who to play between those 2 guys. Kyler Murray is a vet. He's nasty. He can play. But Jaden Daniels is a rookie phenom. We know his rushing upside is crazy. But we don't know who's going to score higher or lower. So I'm going to tell you, bro, that you're going to have to make that decision. I've learned that being a fantasy football content creator. I'm not going to sit here and choose between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I've learned that. I used to do that, and people would say I'm wrong because I chose Justin Jefferson over Jamar Chase. Oh, I chose Jamar Chase over Justin. I don't know. These guys are both getting alpha targets, right? I mean, and so Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels are both alpha. They both can run. So I think you need to trade one of these guys and make that decision easier, TZ.
Razi said,
okay, he's talking to Zach Seaman. All right, let me go back up to try to.
Made me lose my spot.
Okay. Rami says, double tap the screen to hit the like button. Yes, double tap the screen, guys. Double tap the screen. Hit the like button. This is cutting edge content.
Let's see
here. Camden's okay, we got to this JK. Is JK and Waddle for Waddle is for Nico, Waddle, DK. Is JK and Waddle for what players should I look to buy? What players should you look to buy?
For you is JK. I don't know, bro.
I don't know what players. I don't know what's in your leagues. You're gonna have to give me a little bit more than that. I apologize if I'm not giving you enough, but I don't know what you mean. You said you got Richardson, you got Gibbs, you got Ramondre Stevenson, you got Chase, you got Nico, you got Waddle, and DK. Is JK and Waddle for what players should I look to buy?
So you want to trade?
JK and Waddle. Maybe you can't get Amara. I like A Chain. A lot of guys that I like, man, they are booming. It's hard to get them. Maybe you could take JK and get Brian Thomas Jr. I'm not going to tell you to trade both of them for Brian Thomas Jr., but I do like Brian Thomas Jr.
Let's see here. Maybe Malik Neighbors.
Take JK and Waddle. I don't know if I would do both, but I would try to get Malik Neighbors. If you got to use two guys, do that, but I don't feel great about that, man. But those are the two guys that I think you can buy low on. Like, people are willing to trade them. A lot of other guys, people are not willing to trade them.
All right.
A.G. Grizzo says, what's good, TD? Who we liking out of Brian Robinson, Monty, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jerome Ford? Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. If you drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. in the second round, you got to play him. You can't. I'm not. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you to make a decision on a guy that you drafted early in the second round in week 2 and tell you to sit him for a guy that was drafted in the 8th round. I'm not doing it because it's too early to try to make that decision yet. So I think you got to roll out Marvin Harrison Jr. You drafted him. You got to go down with that ship. That's not what I'm gonna tell you. I'm never gonna be that guy that's gonna find somebody that was picked off waivers and tell you to sit the other guy unless the other guy's vulnerable. Like, I love Isaiah Likely, but I'm not gonna tell nobody to sit Travis Kelce for Isaiah Likely. I'm not gonna tell anybody to sit Trey McBride for Isaiah Likely. It would have to be the guy on his tier that I'm gonna tell you to sit a little bit above his tier because I do think he's trending. But I'm not going to tell you to sit Marvin Harrison Jr. for Monty. I'm not going to tell you to sit Marvin Harrison Jr. for Brian Robinson. Now, I like Monty, I like Brian Robinson, and I like Jerome Ford, but I think you got to play Marvin Harrison Jr. Zach says, if I trade away Ford, who should I get? Okay, I talked about Malik Neighbors. Tank Dell, that's another one, guys. I like Tank Dell. Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. is one. I like Zay Flowers. And I like Brian Thomas Jr. Hopefully those guys can help.
Let's
see. Ali Baba says, thanks, anytime. Zach says Ford for Flowers. Yes, I didn't see that. Yep, I will go with Flowers. Right, Zach. Facts.
Razi says, would you
rather have Drake London or Cooper Kupp rest of the season? I think I did that one already. Cooper Kupp, that's easy. Rodney says, what do we think of Khalil Shakir's ceiling is? Looking like a safe flex. I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, if you want to play him, to me, he can't break down in my lineups. I got my wide receivers are too good for me to ever consider Khalil Shakir. So I don't want to be disingenuous and use my team to talk to y'all. But what type of team do you got if you got Khalil Shakir and you need to start him? I don't know what type of league you in, but I think he's an okay flex play. Anybody that's getting the targets that he's getting is going to be okay in the flex. Okay, A.G. Grizzo said he needed 2. So I'd have said Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jerome Ford. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jerome Ford. But it's close between Jerome Ford and Brian Robinson Jr. and Monty. Jerome Ford, Brian Robinson, and Monty are all in the same tier. Those running backs are all in the same tier. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a tier above those guys. Let's see here. Cho Cheese, what's up? He says Brian Robinson or DJ Moore in the flex.
I'm gonna go with DJ.
More over Brian Robinson. I think Brian. Listen, I won't be surprised if Brian Robinson's outscore him. So I want to be genuine to what you're saying. I won't be surprised if Brian Robinson outscored DJ Moore, but you got to start DJ Moore. He's the #1 wide receiver. Dunze could miss some time. Keenan Allen could miss some time. So I'm gonna go with DJ Moore because he's a tier above Brian Robinson. But you got to keep starting DJ Moore for the first 4 weeks until he does this plays bad for 4 quadrants. I mean 1 quadrant, which is 4 games. Then you could maybe pivot and say I'm gonna start Brian Robinson on him and feel secure about doing it. Right now, I'm gonna say DJ Moore. I'm not gonna put DJ Moore on my bench and play Brian Robinson. I can't do that. I got too much invested in DJ Moore. He's too much of an upper echelon player. Zach says, also, I might want to trade away Jaden Reed in Dynasty. I have Amon-Ra, Nico, Brian Thomas Jr. in that league. Yes, I don't think it's wrong with trading Jaden Reed. I think he's an upper boom guy. He can play. We know Jaden Reed is a good player. He was good in Michigan State. But if you
can trade him because he's
kind of volatile with all these weapons on that team, especially with Jordan Love going down right now, I wouldn't mind trading, but make sure you get something nice. Don't get chopped liver. Because he especially right now, man, this is the time. Because if he gonna have a good game like he did last week, then his value gonna kind of go down again. Right now, you could go and get a Tank Dale or something from him. So that's what I would do. Alibaba said, dropping Jalen Wright for Rico Dowdle. No, I wouldn't do that. Jalen Wright, especially with Tua being out, they're gonna run the hell out of the ball. Got to be patient with these players. Rico, he's fine, but I don't think you should make that move. And I could be wrong. Rico could bust out and get a long 70-yard run next week. Now I'm willing to move on and play Rico over Jalen Wright. But I like Jalen Wright. They was trying to get him involved, but what you got had a great game. Jeff Wilson just in there because he's a veteran. He knows how to block and help protect Tua. No pun intended. So I think you should hold on to Jalen Wright. That's just me. If you can pick up Rico, pick up all the backup running backs that you can fit on your team, but I wouldn't drop Jalen Wright for Rico. I wouldn't do that. Drag in the Heart, what's up, bruh? He says Mims Jr. or Troy Franklin, pick one. I guess I'm gonna go with Mims, man, because he got the special teams upside. I know you might not have special team points, but I'm gonna go with Mims Jr. I'm not seeing Troy Franklin do anything. Bo Nix, I like Bo Nix. I think he could maybe evolve in a different quadrant, but he didn't look good week 1. And that's one of them guys that I could say because I thought he could be top 5 in passing yards. Totally off. They didn't look good. I thought he looked good in the preseason. Their regular season defensive coordinators are totally different. So I'm gonna go with Marvin Mims right now, man, until I see Troy Franklin do something. TZ says CMC got to IR per Lynch, I think. Going to IR. Okay. There you go. You know, people laughed at me when I traded CMC in the league. I'm going to show y'all some of these trades and what they said in the league. They put the smiley faces. Keep laughing. Dang, yeah, that's rough. If you drafted CMC #1 overall and he's already going on IR, by the time he come off IR, you might be out the playoffs. It's possible. Black Banks in the building. What's up, bruh? He says Nick's Cousins, Carr, Donald, Levis, or Watson. Need one. Hawk Tua out again. I'm going with Derek Carr. I'm going to get a little spicy, a little cutting edge right here. Donald, I like Donald, but Jordan Addison is out, and that worries me a little bit. That means they're going to double team Justin Jefferson, and he's going to have to go to Jalen Naylor or somebody. Cousins, he can't push off his back foot. Knicks look terrible. He looks like a rookie, a deer in headlights. Will Levis might suck. He might suck. I don't know yet. We got to see. You got to let him progress a little bit. And Watson, I think, got some upside, but I need to see it. Right at this point in time, I'm going to go with Carr over Watson because Watson ain't in that tier yet. He wasn't drafted in the top 5 tier that we just had maybe a down week. He's been having a lot of down weeks lately in the last 2 years. So I would go with Carr. Fantasy is crazy, man. You never know what you're going to do from week to week. Michael Shea says Tyreek is shut. Hey, it is what it is. I'm playing him. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic in fantasy. I'm fine. My teams are fine. I took Tyreek everywhere I can. I still think I'm going to win the weeks. I got a lot of Tyreek and Waddle on my team. But I got some boom guys coming behind him. I got A-Chain on them same teams too. So I got some boom guys coming behind Tyreek, like neighbors and stuff like that too.
Appreciate you being
Here, Michael. Joe Garcia, what's up, bro? Joe Garcia says, "Is it true that CMC might go on IR?" That's what I'm hearing. We just seen it in the chat. It's okay. It's okay, guys. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna be the YouTuber to sit here and say, "Man, why'd y'all draft CMC? That was crazy." But I do feel like people who follow me, if you've been following me and you drafted CMC, you gotta eat it. I'm gonna chat. If I know you've been following me for a while, I'm gonna chastise you a little bit, and it's all love. I'm gonna chastise you a little bit. And listen, I know I went with Tyreek, but I'm okay with going because Tyreek he hasn't like missed a lot of time. Tua, I knew what it was with Tua, and I'm willing to do that. I still draft Tyreek before I draft CMC because the running back and the wide receiver position to me is just the way the game is played. The wide receiver position is more trustworthy. The running back position is very, very volatile at all times. So when you can find a guy, you win the league, but it's hard. I'd rather go with a younger guy like B. John and or Breach or Saquon, which he's at that pivot where he's getting ready to be over the hill. Like this year, I might stick with Saquon one more year. After that, I'm done with Saquon. Ali Baba says Tyreek could have been in and out of traffic stop in 2 minutes. Facts, Ali. Maybe 3, but no, he wanted to mouth off and be unnecessary. Facts. Facts. I agree with you 100%. He acted like a modern day single woman. He too old for that. You facts, bro. Ali, you ain't said nothing wrong. And I'm disappointed in I love Tyreek. Pause. But I'm not guys, let me tell you, let me give I'm gonna get his back a little bit. God, let me ask you this, Ali. If you had $50 million in the bank, how would you feel? Would you be, hey, how you doing, sir? Would you be the same guy? Would you listen? He says Pacheco dropped that touchdown. Okay, he ain't that ain't. But would you be the same guy, or would you be kind of like arrogant? Like I made it. I'm a strong individual man. My plan worked in life, and I think you can't tell Tyreek anything because he's one of the fastest men in the whole world. Right? He could be top 50 fastest man in the whole world. He's made a lot of money, changed his family life. He got kids. He's been with a lot of beautiful women. It's hard to tell young men what to do, and then they get to around cops. They think they bigger than the cops. So that's why I agree with you, Ali Baba. That's why I agree with you. Joey says, kind of feel like I have to try to trade Hill. That's fine, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel like you need to do it, that's fine. Only thing I would say, Joy, don't regret it. As long as you don't regret it, it could be a great move. That's what it's about. It's not what the move you're making, it's how you feel about the move, and you're not gonna play both sides of the fence. Man, I traded Tyreek and he's balling now. Don't say that. And I mean that by the bottom of my heart. Don't say that. Don't say, man, why did I do that? Don't never say, why did you do something? You better make sure you make a sound decision right now when you trade them. It's okay. I don't think that you need to hold on to Hill, and if you trade Hill, you're going to lose. No. But if you trade him and he start booming and you regret it, yeah, you lost big time. That was dumb if you regret it. But if you don't regret it, it's okay. Hopefully that makes sense. The question is, what can I get from him or trust Skylar? Skylar might not be the quarterback the whole time. It could be another quarterback. Skylar could be okay. Skylar about beat Josh Allen in the playoff game. So we just got, I would say, wait it out a couple weeks and see. Now, would Tyreek Hill value go down? Waiting, it's possible. It's possible. Guys, I got 15 more minutes. So if you want to make sure your question get answered, you might want to super chat because I got 15 more minutes. I got to go get me a cut. Brad McCoy says, would you trade Waddle for MHJ? If you answer me that question, bro, yeah, I think it's a good trade. I think it's an even trade. I think it's a fantastic trade. Me, I like Waddle a little bit more, not because Waddle is like some super duper special guy without Tua, but I just like Waddle. I like the way the offensive coordinator, which is Mike McDaniels, called plays for Waddle. So I like Waddle a little bit, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is him. And so I think that's a great trade if you don't want to take a Miami Dolphin with no Tua. I understand that. I'm going to be genuine to that. So I think that's a fantastic trade, Brad, if you want to do that. Appreciate you being here, Brad. Yes, sir. Stan Steve's in the building. What's up, bro? He said started Keon Coleman and the Big Zero. Who should I start over Pickens or Dale? I think I'm gonna say Pickens right now, but you need to try to get Dale in your lineups. Try to get Dale. Dale should be a start every week, bro. Try to consolidate your team where you starting Dale every week. Don't let Dale be a guy, should I start? I keep saying this a lot, guys. Some guys that are so good in fantasy, you would never be able to get them in your lineup if you always try to see, well, should I start this guy or that guy? How you going to get Jameson Williams in your lineup if you got to choose to start him over him or Nico or all these other guys? You just got to play J-Mo. You just got to put him in the flex and let him go. I think you got to put Tank Dell in the flex or put him at wide receiver 3 or 2 and let him play. If you make decisions, you're gonna miss his boom. If you try to make, which the better guy got the better matchup. But I'm gonna tell you Pickens, because Pickens is the #1 team for this team, and Justin Fields hyper targeted Pickens last week. So that's why I'm gonna say Pickens. But I think you should get Dale on the field too. Tyler Sperry. What's going on, Tyler? Appreciate you, bro. Tyler says start Charbonnet, Brandon Cooks, or Ford. Okay, so Kenneth Walker, I haven't read any news about Kenneth Walker. Can somebody tell me in the chat what have they heard about Kenneth Walker? Matter of fact, let me put his name in here.
Okay, let's see what I got.
Right here, the latest news. Doubtful. So, thank you. Okay, so he's doubtful. Okay, thank you, K Serious. Thank you, Kales. I see you. Okay, we got Charbonnet, we got Brandon Cooks or Ford.
All right, hold on.
This is a great question, by the way. Great question, Tyler. I'm gonna go with Ford because I like the Patriots defense. I think the Patriots defense is like that. I think that's a top 5 defense. So I'm gonna go with Ford slightly over Charbonnet. Usually I like to go with the backup when the starter has went down because you ain't gonna have that many opportunities. Kenneth Walker's not gonna be out that long. Maybe another week, maybe. So, but I'm gonna go with Ford because I think the matchup is better. They playing against the Jaguars. I don't think that defense can shut down the run like that. But I do believe the Patriots can shut down the run. Great question.
Let's see
here. Jonathan Santiago, what's up, bruh? He says trying to trade Devontae Adams straight up for St. Brown. Good trade. Yeah, hell yeah. If you can get St. Brown, but I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do that. But hell yeah, go after St. Brown. Go buy low on St. Brown all day. I thought about making that video, but I'm like, that's kind of redundant. We all know that if we can get Amon-Ra, we're gonna get it. And who's gonna actually do that? But maybe some people will if they don't know. Yeah, Ferguson is doubtful, but they said he could play. They said he could play too, and I don't think he will. Excuse me, guys. Razi says, would you rather have Drake London or Cooper Kupp rest of the season? Okay, I think I answered that question a couple times. Joey says, I have Adams and Hill. Right, okay. Yeah, you fine with that. Adams and Hill, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine with those guys. What happening? What's going on? What happened? He says Rice, Debo, Adams, Connor, Dobbins. Need 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, 4 PPR. Also pick 2 for a 2 for 1 upgrade. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna try. You need 2 wide receivers. I'm gonna say Debo and Rice. Debo and Rice. I hate leaving Adams out, but I'm gonna give you the best players. Debo and Rice. 1 flex would be Connor. So Debo, Rice, and Connor. Also pick 2 for a 2 for 1 upgrade. So I guess I would take Adams and Dobbins and try to get Tank Dale. Adams and Dobbins and try to get Tank Dale. I know you might say, I don't know, but you getting an elite offense. Tank Dell and maybe Malik Neighbors. And if that don't help you, bro, get a consultation. I can get you. We sit down for 30 minutes and we'll find a player for you to try to trade for.
Sports Dog.
He says 18 PPR Superflex. I need 2 flex. DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, J.K. Dobbins, George Pickens, or Jalen Warren. Thanks, TD100. Anytime, bro. You need
2.
I need 2 flexes.
Terry McLaurin.
I love Terry McLaurin. And DJ Moore. But listen, I'm going to say DJ Moore because I think one of those wide receivers, Roma Dunze or Keenan Allen, is out. But if none of those guys miss, I would pivot from DJ Moore to George Pickens. J.K. Dobbins would be after DJ Moore and George Pickens.
So Terry McLaurin,
definitely. Appreciate you, sports dog. Bike Walkers, what's up, bro? He says, what's up? Start ETN or Dobbins. ETN all day. ETN all day. Morton Torres in the building. What's up, bro? Always showing support with the 100 symbol. Appreciate you being here. Cali dude, he says, what would you start Herbert over Baker? No, I would. I don't think you should be making that decision. I think you need to. Well, you know what? That's okay because Baker was drafted at a different tier. I'm sorry, I'm totally wrong. Because Baker's the number 1, so I'm like, all right, we got a number 1, but Baker is a whole different tier.
I say try
Baker again. Ride the hot hand. I think this is a chance, or this is a situation where you can make that type of decision because you draft a guy late, take him at the end of your draft, and he end up being a top number 1 quarterback for 1 week. Then yeah, you have to make that decision because you got a guy like Herbert who is upper echelon. But for this week, I tell you to get cute. This is an opportunity to get cute, to get in the mirror and get that fade right. So what I would say is go ahead and play Baker. Go ahead and get cute. I think it's okay. You go down with that because Baker gave you number 1 numbers. You don't want to miss when he's hot. Pause. Great question, Cali dude. Appreciate you being here, bruh. Meadow Suave, what's up, bruh? Glad to see you here. He says, hey, bruh, have any advice on how to approach a man I like? Heard about you talk about a personal experience on a previous live stream, and you will love some advice. Thanks, bruh. Hey, bruh, have any advice on how to approach a man? Come on, bruh. Come on now. That's pure trolling. Dustin Poole says, thank you, bro. Appreciate you anytime. Chris Kringle says, water trade value. Can I get Jameson Williams? Try it. User 279 says, I'm not trading Tyreek Hill unless it's a good. Users 279 says, I'm not trading Tyreek Hill unless it's a good ass deal. And I agree 100% with that. It's got to be way at the top. I'm not getting rid of Tyreek Hill. I'll go down with the ship and lose with him. User 279 says, one guy I would sell high on though is Stephon Diggs if you can get a good value for him. I agree with that. I mean, Stephon gonna be fine. But if you can get like Malik Neighbors, I know I keep saying it, but I think Malik Neighbors is getting all the targets. He's the only one there. I just want to make sure he stay healthy. I'm worried about his health. Because Daniel Jones could lead him into traffic and he can get him hurt. But yes, I would say Malik Neighbors for Stephon Diggs and go to Malik Neighbors. Caladu says Herbert or Baker. I'm going with. Wait a minute. I'm gonna make sure y'all not. Guys, don't put the same question in the chat. I appreciate everybody being here. I will get to your question. If you're gonna put the question in there, I might skip it. So just be, I'm gonna get to everybody's question. If not, just super chat if you want to answer immediately. But I would say, I'm gonna say that again one more time. I'm gonna go with Baker on this one. User 279 says Kincaid bounced back with his week 1 game. Yes, he had a decent game. Draco says Charbonnet looking like a star. Ken Walker doubtful. Yes, Charbonnet should be a star. You should be able to go ahead and play. I'm playing Charbonnet in my league. It's easy. Shoe Crew, what's up, bro? He says, I'm ready for week 2. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rozzy says, if cup, if I can swing, okay, I think I did that one already. Users 279, so somehow I was able to get Caleb Williams off waivers. Yes, because people panic. People panic.
Big Will in the house.
House. Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. He says, do you think I should sell high on Jordan Mason or stand pat? I like how you say stand pat. That's what we say in the barber shop. I'll say, is it worth going after Cup since Puka is on IR? Appreciate you, bro. Anytime.
If you could trade Jordan
Mason for, I hate to say it, a Malik Neighbors or Amon-Ra, yeah, but don't go to them bottom tiers. I wouldn't even trade Jordan Mason right now, especially with they talking about that CMC can go on IR. So I wouldn't trade Jordan Mason. I would trade Jordan Mason. It would have to be somebody like on an Amon-Ra level. I'm not going to the Tank Dell's level. So that's how I feel about that. It's got to be an upper echelon wide receiver or running back or whatever it is. It's got to be up there. It's got to be top 5 potential because that's where he is on this offense. RGQ says, who should I pick up after dropping Hollywood? Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Cooks, Demarcus Robinson, or Rondell Robinson? I'm going to say Demarcus Robinson for week 2. Because there's a couple other guys that look decent, like Rondell looked decent. Jerry Jeudy, I think he's healthy. So he had a couple good catches and he had a touchdown. But I'm gonna go with Demarcus Robinson.
Shoe Crew says
A-Chain 8 last night. You were so right about him. Every fantasy trainer was scared of his injury. Right. But listen, bro, let me tell you something, Shoe Crew. He can still go down. I want y'all to understand why I'm on these players. I know A-Chain can go down, but guess what? I don't care. It's fantasy. I'm going with the boom. It's just like stock market, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. They had to make risky moves. They were like, you know what? I'm gonna stay safe. I'm gonna stay in my basement and make it here because I ain't gotta have no overhead. No, you have to take a risk. So I know it's risk to take A-Chain, but guess what? The risk. Look what I've got for week 1 and week 2. I'm not sitting here saying that I knew this and knew that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I watched the guy. I saw how he could play last year. I know he was explosive. I know he on the Miami Dolphins offense, so I took him. If he would have got hurt in the offseason, I would have went down with this ship, and I'd have owned it. Same thing with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones could have won MVP last year. I'd have been right, but he didn't. He played terrible. I'm wrong. I'm going down with the ship. That's okay. I make my assessments and I live with it. So A-Chain can still go down, bro, but I appreciate the giving me a shout out about A-Chain. Chris Kringle says Charbonnet was pretty bad in the actual run game. And bro, sometimes people get to a good game in different ways. A-Chain last week, bro, had like 10 yards rushing, but he had like 70 yards catching, like in receiving. He had 70 yards receiving, and he had like six or seven catches last week. Not this week, last week. And he still was a top 5 RB, I believe. Maybe top 7. So it's different ways to get there. Charbonnet might have a couple bad runs, a lot of bad runs, but if he scored twice, then he's a top 5 RB. So when he's getting the volume, I'm okay with that, especially on this offense. The matchup is not that bad either. Actually, it's not great, but I'm still willing to play him. BPCZ says, bruh, should I start Brian Robinson Jr. or Chris Olave at the flex? I'm going to say Chris Olave. I'm not high on Chris Olave. I didn't draft no Chris Olave, but you have to start him because of his draft capital. So I would tell you to sit Brian Robinson one more week and play Chris Olave. And then after that, if you want to make that decision, I say yeah. But to me, all my players that I drafted in the first 4 rounds, maybe 5, I'm gonna give them at least 4 weeks because if they upper echelon guys. Now, if I reach for a guy, maybe I'll make that decision quicker. But I'm starting Jalen Water and Tyreek up into week 4. And if week 4 they playing bad with Skylar Thompson, then I might make an assessment where I might need to trade or just roll Tyreek out there and hopefully find somebody who would take Water. If they don't want to take him, then just roll him out there. Maybe play matchups with him if I find somebody off the bench. That's how I see that. So I would say go ahead and start Chris Olave over Brian Robinson because I don't play fantasy that way. I don't. Okay, I got a guy off waivers. All of a sudden, he ball out. Now I'm going to sit Marvin Harrison Jr. because this guy balled out in 1 week. I don't play fantasy that way. I need to see a trend before I make that type of decision, sitting a stud.
That's why I don't draft
Certain guys. That's why I don't draft Chris Olave because I don't want to wait on him.
Damn it.
I always try to lose my spot. Yeah, let's get the likes up, fellas. Let's get the likes up. I say, guys, I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes. So if you want your if you want your comment read out, make sure you super chat. But I'm gonna go down the list. I'm gonna try to get to some of the I see you, Rami said you better roast us, TD. No, I'm not gonna roast y'all my guys. I'm not gonna roast you. Y'all can roast me, long as it's fair, right? Long as TD, Daniel Jones, whatever. But I ain't gonna roast y'all. I'm not gonna do that. I'm here to help y'all win. I might roast you, Harambe. I'm gonna roast you though. All right. Let's see here. Damn, we went all the way to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Okay. KJ says, "What's good, fam? Better full PPR flex star, Garrett Wilson or David Montgomery." I'm going with Garrett Wilson. I mean, that target that he get, I mean, he's getting dumb targeted. Shuku says, Brian Robinson, if you need a safe floor. Yeah, man, but I'm not ready to play that game and make that. Because, yes, Brian Robinson with the goal line touches, that's why I didn't draft Chris Olave. Because I know other people like Brian Robinson was going to break out. And then you got Chris Olave giving you 12 points. Then you're going to have to make tough-ass counteractive decisions where you trying to put Brian Robinson and sit Chris Olave. That doesn't make sense to me because Chris Olave, guys, CeeDee Lamb had 11-point games early last season. Like week 1 to week 4, or all the way up to week 5. I think CeeDee Lamb was averaging like 10, 11 points. But would you going to sit him for a guy like a Gus Edwards who was killing it in the green zone?
Was killing it in the green
zone? So I think right now you just got to play Chris Olave or trade him. And then if he keep doing it a couple more weeks, then you make that decision. That's how I see it. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. Razi says, I appreciate the answer, big dog. Anytime, man. Anytime. RG says, pick 2 to start. Pickens, Shaheed, Brian Thomas, and J-Mo. Man, I'm going to get a little cute here. I'm going to say Brian Thomas Jr. and J-Mo. I'm giving you the boom guys. Those are boom guys. The safe plays are probably Pickens and Brian Thomas Jr. Pickens probably be a little bit more safer than J-Mo. But I think Amon-Ra is going to have a big game, but they still going to use J-Mo for a big play. So I'm going to say Brian Thomas Jr. and J-Mo for the boom plays. They not the safest. So I'm going to give you 2 different ways to look at that. Pickens is he's safe. He's going to get 7 to 8 targets at least. J-Mo might get 3, 4 targets. We don't know, but he could boom in any one of those targets. Brian Thomas' targets are going to go up this week. He got like 5 last week. I think he might get like 8 or 9 or maybe even 10. He's going to be growing in this offense. He's getting better too. Shoe Crew says Pickens or Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas looks like the real deal. Right. I'm going to say Pickens is safer, but I like Brian Thomas Jr. because I drafted Brian Thomas Jr. a lot, and I know he's going to manifest into this alpha wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm going to say Brian Thomas, but I could be biased. Pickens is a starter, bro. He getting the targets. He's out there. He's running great routes. Nobody, upper echelon corners can't stay with him. So, but I like Brian Thomas personally. That's just me. Right, I'm a human. I just like like certain guys. I like certain women. I like my women certain ways. Same thing here. Brian Thomas, pause. I like Brian Thomas as a deep threat for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The roll, what's up, bro?
Sports Dog says I still need a quarterback on my 18 PPR Superflex to replace Joe Love, Stafford, and Geno. I'm gonna say Stafford. He's a safe play. I think Stafford, but he's going to do if he's going to do. You trust Geno Smith? I I trust Geno Smith, but I think you got to give him a little bit more time. I think this offense is new to this whole team. But I'm gonna go with Stafford for week 2. But I think Geno could get going later. But I'm gonna say Stafford right now. Better head coach. I play DraftKings, bro. User 270 says buy low on DJ Moore and Ayuk. I think those are good buy lows on. I do think you can buy low on those guys. Mac 4 says draft is over. Play the best players. Right. Wait a minute. No. So you telling me to sit Tyreek Hill for Jaden Reed? I'm gonna ask you that, Mac 4, real quick. You want me to sit Tyreek Hill for Jaden Reed? Because the draft is over. Jaden Reed boomed. So next week, if Jaden Reed has another big game, I should sit. If I got to make a decision between Tyreek Hill and Jaden Reed, I should sit Tyreek. No, you got to go give your guys a chance to mature in your lineup to be what they're going to be. Because you're not going to sit CeeDee Lamb last year when he struggled in the first 4 weeks. So you have to give your guys a chance to mature if you own them. If you are off of them, that's fine. Move on. It don't matter what they do once you move on. Fantasy is like that, man. Taco Cheese says, what up, bro? I'm starting Richardson or Jaden Daniels this week. I'm going to say Richardson over Jaden Daniels. I love Jaden Daniels. I think you need to trade somebody, say you don't have to make that decision every week. Also got offered JT Pickens and McConkey for Waddle and ETN. Also got offered JT and Pickens and McConkey.
JT, Pickens, and McConkey. I might make that.
Especially with Tua being gone, maybe you don't feel good about Waddle in that offense. So if you feel that way, then I think it's a good trade. But if you still like Waddle, I wouldn't do it. But I understand it. JT, Jonathan Taylor, Pickens, and McConkey for just Waddle and ETN, even though they good players, I might go with the 3 for 2. The three guys. Kale says Alvin Kamara or Ford in the flex. Alvin Kamara all day. You got to play Alvin Kamara. I think you should play both. Let's see here.
All right, guys. Well, I'm getting
Ready to get out of here. I gotta go get my cut. I'm trying to go through a couple questions here, get to some of the members. But I'm gonna try to go live when I come back. I appreciate everybody being here. Jesse said, should I trade Tyreek Hill? No. I say go down with the ship. You ain't gonna be able to get down. If you can get Amon-Ra for him or something like that, then do it. He says trade Christian Watson and Devontae Adams for St. Brown. Yes, do that, Jonathan Santiago. Trade Christian Watson for and Devontae Adams for St. Brown. Yes. My wide receivers would be Garrett Wilson, Ayuk, St. Brown, and Xavier Worthy. I like that.
Mac Force says
Ford, gonna have to throw to keep with Dallas. Let's see.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna get ready to
Get out of here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Y'all be safe. I'm gonna try to do some videos. I'm definitely gonna do some videos on Saturday, and I'm definitely gonna do fantasy football after dark. Saturday, me and Arabi. So make sure y'all tune in. Y'all be safe. Peace.